Hey guys, what's up? V8 Merc here, and today I'm going to show you guys the disassembly of this rifle. I'm also going to go through the internals as well, so I'm going to try to take apart as much as I can without using any tools. To begin with, obviously make sure your rifle is clear. Make sure your magazine is empty. Here I just have a body of my magazine here, and I've already checked the rifle so I know that it's clear, but I'll do it anyways just as a habit. You should always check it, and I've already visually inspected it and I physically checked it as well. So it has to be closed up, the bolt has to be closed before we begin this process. And I'm going to start with the internals, and then I'll move to the exterior pieces, which is only actually the front handguard. So to begin this, we have these two retaining pins right here that hold the buttstock to the receiver and hold the lower receiver to the upper receiver as well. And all you have to do is just push these pins through just like that, and they pop out just like that. So you're going to push them both up, pull them out, and in the buttstock it's got this neat little feature where you can put your pins right here so they can hold so you can hold on to them so you don't lose them. So you just want to pull these out and stick them right there, and then you're ready just to pull off the buttstock just like that. And your buttstock contains your guide rod here with the spring, the recoil spring, and all that stuff. Now let's go ahead and set this to the side. Now the next step here is to take off your lower receiver, and this is fairly simple. All you have to do is just pull down like that and just pull it off, and it contains your trigger pack and your whole firing control mechanism as well. Now this piece can be further disassembled, and I can quickly show you that. You put your safety lever on safe, and then you rotate it to the 12 o'clock position, and then push on this side of your safety, and it should push out like that. And it only pops out at the 12 o'clock position. If you can see that notch right there, that notch right there, that has a notch in the frame, and that's where it only comes out at the 12 o'clock position. So let's go ahead and set the safety to the side here. And to release the trigger pack, all you have to do is pull straight out, and that's it. And that's your whole trigger pack for a semi-auto. You can set that aside. You can go ahead and clean this and whatnot if you need to. And then here's your lower receiver frame. It's all empty, clear. This one is steel. Normally this rifle comes with a polymer one. So go ahead and set that to the side. Let's free up some workspace here. Okay, so now the next step is we're going to pull the bolt carrier out of here. On my rifle, because I have a California legal rifle, I have this bullet button here, so I'm going to take mine off and set it to the side so I don't lose it. Alright, so now we're going to get into the internals. Now all you have to really do here is release the charging handle or the cocking handle. You pull back once like that to unlock the roller locks inside the receiver, and then just pull back, and when you pull back you can see the bolt is moving, and you go back to the furthest back position right there where that notch is at, and you can put it in here if you want, no problem just doing that, and then you just tilt your receiver up, and this is going to fall right out. Now it's good to hold it, otherwise it can get stuck in these it can get stuck right here in these bends in the frame, and it can, and the top part of this, because it's round, will get stuck in between these two pieces that are closest together, because this distance is closer than obviously up here, so you want to be careful about doing that. Alright, so now you've taken out your whole bolt carrier group, and you just have an upper receiver, a barreled upper receiver here. So I'm going to set this aside just for a second to kind of go over the bolt. Here we have, or the bolt carrier, here we have the bolt itself, and those are the rollers which just roll out and lock into the chamber. And then the carrier as well is just this big black piece, and you can see that it's welded up here. It's kind of different. Never really seen a bolt carrier group that's been welded together, at least the top part's welded to the main carrier part. To further disassemble the bolt, you can rotate the bolt. Let's see, it would be if you're facing the bolt towards yourself. For me it's this way, for you it's going to be this way. You want to rotate it counterclockwise, counterclockwise, right? And then pull straight out like that, and then you got your bolt head here, the bolt face, and you can set this aside, clean this with a toothbrush if you wish. And here is your firing pin retainer, which I believe you rotate it and it'll just pop right out just like that. You pull it out and there's this and our firing pin and spring, and that's it. And you can just go ahead and clean that up once you got it apart, and you can clean this as well. It goes all the way through. So once you're done degunking it, just go back in the reverse order, and again there's a piece of metal there, a little tab, and a notch here at 12 o'clock, and you just put it in and rotate it one way or the other, I believe counterclockwise again. And you want to keep this horizontal, if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that right there. Keep that horizontal and stick your bolt on here, and then let the bolt rotate to where it needs to, and then push back on. Alright, so here I had to bring a screwdriver because I kind of forgot that. And as you can see, this little piece right here, there's a spring right underneath there, right there, and I have to lift up. As you can see, that steel piece comes all the way down into there, so I have to lift this up by twisting it, putting my screwdriver in here and twisting it up. It's kind of hard to do this upside down. Yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta look at it. There we go. So all I did was twist the screwdriver so that it would lift up the thing that's like this and pop over the bolt and latch on. So now as you can see it, if there's enough light there you can see it. It went over and it's latched onto the bolt itself. And now all I have to do is twist it to get my bolt face to be lined up. As you can see here, this is the bottom and this is the top where it says PTR right there. So I need to take this face and bring it underneath here. So I'm just going to rotate it like so. And you don't want to push it all the way down. You actually kind of want to lift it out to where the rollers can be still pushed in. See, right now they're locked out like if it was in the chamber. So what we need to do is lift it up slowly and check that the rollers go in, and they do. As you can see in there, it's flat, and I can push that one in. Alright, so now we can rotate it, and it's a little tough, so I recommend you guys dry up the bolt before you try, because the oil will make you slip. Alright, so now I've got it back to where I want to get it. And just to let you guys know, if you're wondering how this thing locks up, I'm going to try to do it like this here. So when this bolt goes into the chamber, it pushes the bolt face back, and see how the rollers pop out, and it locks itself into the chamber. That's why where the firing pin is, that little piece is triangular. That goes in and pushes the rollers out like this and locks it into the chamber. So to undo this step, because you can't pull it out, you can't pull it like this. That doesn't work. So what you have to do is rotate it back like this, lift up slightly, and then you'll see that the rollers come in, so it's flat, and then turn it again back to top dead or 12 o'clock. And there, we're ready to put it back together when we're ready. Alright, now to go back up to the upper. So now you can basically get in here, clean out the receiver, clean out all the rails and stuff, you know, do your cleaning and whatnot. If you want to change out the charging handle or clean this area into the cocking tube, then you excuse me there, then you rotate your charging handle this way, and you have to take off your front handguard to push this pin. As you can see it right there, there's a pin in there. So to take off the handguard, it takes the same style of pin that the buttstock uses, and you just push it through like that, although this is a different diameter, so you won't be able to get these confused. Now this pin, you're going to have to set it to the side, and the the handguard, you just push down on it, and it just comes right off. And you set this handguard aside. It's got a little heat shield in there if you didn't notice that. Alright, and now you can clean out the this side of on the outside of the barrel if you need to or whatnot. And now you have access to the pin back here, which goes all the way through there. So you can knock this out and take this out if you want to change the charging handle or the cocking handle or clean up the tube for whatever reason. Alright, so now let's get back to the disassembly here, or the reassembly, excuse me. Alright, so we're just going to put on the handguard like that, put that on, and it's pretty tight so it holds itself. And we're just going to put this pin back in. And now we're going to put in the bolt carrier group. I'm just going to rotate this charging handle, cocking handle down, and you can leave it here if you want. And go ahead and just take your bolt carrier group. Make sure sliding it into the top. And once you get the back in, what I normally like to do is let gravity do the trick and lift it up. And I'm going to do it on the other side of the table because I can't push it in, so I'm just going to let gravity do it. And you see that it locked, and it's not going to fall out now because it's locked in the chamber. Alright, so now let's reassemble my trigger pack back into my receiver here. Just take the receiver, make sure your trigger's facing the right way, and you just basically drop it in. Nothing really much. There's nothing to it. There we go. And take the safety lever, take it to 12 o'clock. Oh, I'm putting it in from the wrong side. There we go. You just push it in and make sure it lines up with this hole on this side. Once it pops through, push it in here and then push to the first notch. Cycle it all the way through if you wish. Try not to pull the trigger, you don't want the hammer going forward. Okay, now we can reassemble our lower onto here. Now I got to take my bullet button and put this back on. And all I'm doing is hooking the front receiver onto here. And then I just locked into place right there. It's pretty tight, so it's not going to really fall off. And it's all that's left now is my buttstock with my guide rod back here. And this part's a little tricky because you're going to line up all these grooves in the bottom, and it's going to take a little time sometimes, especially when you get it new, to get that to work correctly. You just put both pins back in, just like that. And normally what I like to do is to cycle the action to make sure everything is working and nothing's binding up. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do here. Alright, so everything seems to be working correctly, and I just got my magazine, make sure this is working as well, at least that it's locking up, and it is, so everything's working just fine. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything like that on this rifle, please check out my channel first for any other videos. There's going to be plenty of videos on this rifle. Any comments or questions about this particular video, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll get to them. Alright guys, V8 Mark signing out.